Just give me a second, everyone. So yeah. Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ IS English channel. My name is Shubham Sagar. Today we'll do Hindu analysis of 14th June 2025. And let's start without wasting any time. Page number 14. This is the news. Environment. We anyway know how important environment is, because IAS, IFS, Forest Service, they have the same pre. So this particular news is very important from both pre as well as mains perspective. So what is happening in this particular news? In a first, center sanctions over 300 FRA cells. You can see this word here, 300 FRA cells to facilitate implementation of Forest Rights Act across 18 states UTs. So the basic premise here is FRA, Forest Rights Act. Earlier, it was passed in 2006, and up until 18 years, central government was like, state government, and district machinery, they will take care of this particular initiative. We will not interfere in any other way. And we are just leaving it to state and district. Now, they are like, okay, if you need fund, if you need help, we are there for you, and we'll be establishing this FRA cells. So many people feel like, good morning Sneha, good morning Rishi. So many people feel like this whole FRA cell is a good initiative because there are so many things. When you will read about Forest Rights Act, you will read about tribal people, you will read about OTFDs, other traditional forest dwellers, and they have some claims. Like people who are living in these forest areas, they have to make individual claims or community claims regarding which land belongs to them. And many of these claims have been rejected. Many of these claims are pending. So there is a lot of stress on state and district machinery. So many people feel like center, in getting involved themselves by forming these FRA cells is actually a welcome step. You will understand all these things. Good morning, Kartika. Once we go through this particular article, then there is another scheme which is involved here, which is known as Dharti Aba Janjatiya Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan. So because environment, because scheme, so very, very important from GS3 environment and GS2 scheme perspective. So first, central intervention in FRA implementation. Anything first, we have discussed this earlier also, anything first is very, very important. So what is happening here? For the first time since Forest Rights Act was passed in 2006, center is funding the mechanism to facilitate its implementation. I will tell you, there is another issue which is there. So again, if we go back to the heading of this particular article, center has sanctioned 300 FRA cells. For 18 years, center did not interfere in the working of Forest Rights Act. It left it to states to decide how the things will pan out. Now center is intervening, and they are making these FRA cells not under Forest Rights Act. They are making these FRA cells under this particular scheme, which I just showed you at the bottom portion. Dharti Aba Janjatiya Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan. So many people feel like there will be a parallel machinery which will be getting created. Hope you are understanding this. Gram Sabhas who had authority under Forest Rights Act to decide about the claims, etc. Maybe they will be undermined to a certain extent by these FRA cells. Let me rewind what I just said. So these FRA cells, they are not created under Forest Rights Act. They are created under this Dharti Aba Janjatiya Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan. Under Forest Rights Act, Gram Sabha, and then you have district councils, they have authority to accept or reject the claims. Now this FRA cell has been created under Dharti Aba, this particular scheme. So people are like, oh my God, will it undermine Gram Sabha or not? So these are the kind of questions which we have to answer. And this is a very, very important, development. And this whole, again, if you go back, Dharti Aba Janjatiya Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan, what is this? This is an umbrella scheme. Earlier, there were so many tribal schemes catering to different, attributes. Now they have been merged together. So Dharti Aba Janjatiya Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan. We'll talk about it. So first, central intervention in FRA implementation. That is what we are reading here. FRA, Forest Rights Act, their provision. And I am reiterating the same thing again and again because this is important. Earlier responsibility, implementation of FRA was solely under the domain of state and union territory for past 19 years. But because there has been so many claims by tribal people, by OTFD, which are still pending, and even high courts, Supreme Court, they are also very concerned that what is happening to tribal rights, why are you not accepting or rejecting their claims, and why most of these claims have been rejected. So center, do something. Maybe that's why center is creating these cells to expedite the whole process. New scheme DAJGUA, Dharti Aba Janjatiya Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan. Do remember the launch here? Sometimes they do ask it. October 2024. Establishment of FRA cells, 324 district level, forest right. Now, it's an irony. See here, this is FRA cell, Forest Rights Act cell established by center. And this is not created under FRA. This is created under this Dharti Aba, such a big name, Janjatiya Gram Utkarsh Abhiyan. Okay, so state level, you can read this thing. Funding. These FRA cells are funded by the center under grant in it, but it will be run by state government machinery. The money will be given by center. The FRA cells function under, this is what we are discussing. It is not, and this can be an important pre-question also. They can give you, and this will be a tough question, tough UPSC pre-question, that it functions under FRA Act. You will be like, obvious, but this is not obvious. It is functioning under this particular scheme. This raises concern among them being a parallel mechanism. That's what we have discussed. Under FRA, you have Gram Sabhas and other bodies which looks into these claims. Now you have FRA cells by center, which is actually doing a similar activity. So what will happen? Will Gram Sabha be undermined or not? Good morning, Shashmita. Cool. So let's focus again. Are you people understanding what we are discussing here? Shashmita, Kartika, Rishi, Sneha. Official clarification. Government sources are saying that these cells will not interfere. So from mains perspective also, you have to talk about, if they ask you about FRA cells, you will say how it is important because there are so many claims which are pending of tribal people, OTFDs. So even high courts and judiciary is putting pressure on center. So that's why center has come up with FRA cells to expedite this whole process. Then the other criticism part, will it undermine Gram Sabha and other bodies or not? That is the other point. Cool, sir. So see here. Government has said that no. These cells will not interfere with Gram Sabhas or district level councils, and they will assist in paperwork and data management. In some exams, they can even give you what is the basic purpose of this whole cell, FRA cell. And again here, DAJGUA, which we were seeing the scheme, it spans over 68,000 tribal dominated village and integrates. This is an umbrella scheme which we have discussed. It is integrating so many different scheme form, so many different ministries with a focus on expediting Forest Rights Act implementation. Okay, sir. Very, very important news this is. This is a new development. Sometimes what happens, you keep on reading about the existing, like we'll talk about Israel-Iran issue. Then we will see some map and we'll solve some questions. This is an existing issue. This is an entirely new development. The cells are expected to ensure the quick disposal of pending claims which we are discussing, particularly those delayed even after district level committee approvals. And that's why district level committee and Gram Sabhas are worried that they will start doing, FRA cells will do the work which they used to do earlier. FRA implementation status, now they are talking about how many claims are there, like claims by tribal people, OTFD people, in different states. 51 lakh claim. How much are pending? How many were rejected? This rejected number is so huge that tribal people went to Supreme Court and they are like, there are so many claims which are getting rejected because we don't have enough paper, this and that. So Supreme Court, please look into it. And then Supreme Court said to center that center, please look into it. And now center in a way is looking into it. So how many cells they are making? This is again a pre-question which they can ask you. Good morning, Mamta. So cool, Sneha, Kartika, Shashmita, Priya, they're understanding it. They can ask you this also in that Forest Rights Act cells, which particular state has maximum number of FRA cells, Madhya Pradesh, and then you can see. First three are important. Pendency related to claims, that is highest in Assam. Assam is in news today also. Shoot at site order has been given in Assam, Dhubri district, Dhubri. So we'll talk about why that thing has happened, why shoot at site order has been given in Dhubri. And okay, so high pendency, Assam, Telangana. Significant policy shift, you can see here. Major change up until last 18 years. FRA implementation. Union government did not interfere. Interference is not a right word, but they have left it to state government. Now they're also taking a part. So union government earlier position of only urging states to implement without direct involvement has changed now. So do you think if you have to have a perspective. If I ask you people, good morning, Ravi. If I ask Ravi, Mamta, Priya, Shashmita, Kartika, Sneha, Rishi and others, what is your opinion on this whole development related to FRA cell? Do you welcome this initiative by central government, or you are like, no sir, this is, interference. You need to develop this perspective to write good mains answer also for interview. So if you have any view, feel free to share it in the comment section. This is a question, MCQ 1 of the day. Good morning, Shashikala. Okay. So, which of the following statements best describe the role of newly established FRA cells under DAJGUA scheme? They are empowered to approve or reject forest rights claim. They assist claimants and Gram Sabhas with paperwork, and again, you have to choose the best option. You may feel like, oh my god, they look like Ram Shyam, but you have to choose the best option. They function as appellate bodies for FRA disputes. They are responsible for the enforcement of environmental forest laws. So the answer is random, Priya, Shashmita, Mamta, Rishi and Sneha. They have given the answer. The answer is B. Again, go back. See, there are like people are skeptical. So, you know, the center, they have given this reassurance, official clarification that no sir, we are not interfering with the work of Gram Sabha DLCs. We will just assist them in paperwork and data management. So that was the question all about. Let's go back again. Means let's continue the discussion. This was the MCQ which we have done. Why this thing came here, bro? Page number 1, the second article of the day. So there are so many news related to Israel and Iran. We have to know the basic core issue related to this. Then places in news will come into picture. We have to look at the map. We have to look at where is Lebanon. If you have followed UPSC prelims questions, you will realize UPSC loves West Asia. UPSC loves the region around Mediterranean. So Israel, where is Lebanon, where is Syria, which nuclear plant they have attacked, what is the location of it. So there are certain things which you have to keep in mind because we'll be solving a lot of questions related to this particular article. It's a good initiative according to Shashmita. Very good, yeah. So Israel, we have talked about this yesterday also, that Iran, they have violated, IAEA was saying that you have violated the nuclear energy and you are using it for, or you have enriched the nuclear raw materials. They have enriched it up until 60%. You don't have to go into the percentage, but that is a percentage which is not needed for civilian purpose. That is enough enrichment to make nuclear bombs. And that is the reason why Israel has struck Iran. We'll see one editorial on this also. We'll club them together so that you can develop a full perspective. The author of that editorial is also saying that Israel has struck Iran not because Iran is capable of making nuclear weapon now. They have done that because they know nothing will happen to them because US is supporting it. So supporting Israel, so they can get away with anything. And many people now have started believing the things which Israel is doing. They have, adopted an aggressive posture against Lebanon. They are trying to occupy some territories of Syria. We are not even talking about Gaza right now. You may feel sympathetic about Israel. We may feel sympathetic about Israel because Israel has always been a good friend of ours, be it Kargil war or, even the current Operation Sindoor. But we cannot discount the fact that Israel is going a little too far. Israel per se as a country is not bad. Maybe the government has become too aggressive there. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that editorial. So Israeli attack on Iran. You can see this thing. Friday, Israel launched a large scale attack and Israel deployed warplanes, this and that. And now they also killed very major people. We'll talk about 3 major people of Iran who were killed, who were exterminated. The operation involved about 200 aircraft targeting 100 strategic sites. Also, for developing opinion, you people can also say, do you support this Israeli aggression against Iran? I don't think you people know about what Israel is currently doing in Syria or Lebanon. We'll talk about it later on. But what about this particular issue? Do you support this? That yes, sir, Israel has done a great thing and by attacking on Iran, or you feel like, sir, the data deficient factor is there, we don't know much. Now, from UPSC pre-perspective, which particular nuclear enrichment facility they have attacked? Natanz. Now, this whole jibber-jabber will not work. We have to look at the map. Now, if you see this portion, Israel is here. This is Israel. Up above is Lebanon. And this is very important. This is Lebanon, this region. And this is very important. Why? Because UPSC has already asked questions, which of the following countries border Mediterranean Sea? So Lebanon. This is Iran. And this is the Natanz power plant, which they have attacked. Iran is not even a neighboring country of Israel. But again, there are issues. Ideally, see, Iran is Sunni dominated country. Or Sunni, I'm saying, Shia dominated country. Saudi Arab is Sunni dominated. Ideally, Saudi Arab should have been also very, vocal about all these things. But we are not hearing much about Saudi Arab. Not to say that they are not doing anything, but you can understand where I'm going with this. Many people believe that Israel is becoming just too aggressive. Maybe because of the, tacit support from USA. So we'll come back, just have a look at the map and remember the areas which are where they are. They have asked a question, which of the following countries border Mediterranean Sea, Lebanon or Jordan? So you have to remember Lebanon borders. Okay, so Natanz nuclear enrichment facility suffered significant damage, you can see here. Now casualties, 3 major people, head of Iran's armed forces killed. General Hussein Salami, he is the leader of Revolutionary Guard, killed. Head of Iran's ballistic missile program, killed. Now 2 nuclear scientists, exactly. Iran is also important to us, Chabahar Port, INSTC, etc. India is such a good country, as Unknown is saying, that we have to balance our relationship. Both, we don't have bad relationship with anyone, except let's say Pakistan and China, because they deserve it. So, yes, I totally agree with Iran. Like Unknown, Iran is also important to us, Israel is also important to us, and that's why you will see what our Honorable Prime Minister Sir is talking about. Is he supporting Israel? Is he supporting Iran? Or he is supporting peace and de-escalation? So he is going the third path. He is not supporting either Israel nor Iran. He is talking about de-escalation. Unlike the Gaza thing, where we are constantly abstaining, and many people feel like this is a tacit support to Israel. In this scenario, we are not doing that. Now, ballistic missile and cruise missile, what happens in these missiles? So, ballistic missile and like cruise missile, you can control it to a greater extent. Ballistic missile, they are mainly guided by the forces of gravity. So, they will follow a projectile path, and after a certain point of time, you will lose control of it. They will have a predetermined path. On the other hand, cruise missile, you can control it better and to a better degree. You can change and alter the path. And I think like BrahMos is a cruise missile. People want cruise missile. Is BrahMos a cruise missile? So again, Iran confirmed these deaths. Advance warning. Israel is like, we have informed Trump, and again, he did not say anything. Many people feel like maybe Trump administration, Israel is not even listening to Trump. Because see, this whole thing is happening. If you go back to the last day's lecture, we talked about how US and Iran, they are having a meeting. They were supposed to meet in Oman on Sunday to have the talks. In between, Israel has done this. So many scholars, they are also saying that maybe Israel is not even listening to US right now. Because they know whatever they do, Israel means US is not going to say anything to them. Also, Iran important for IMEC. You people are on fire today, seriously. So, Iran retaliation, drone attack. Iran retaliated by launching over 100 drones towards Israel, but Israel has more or less countered them all. But it doesn't mean, you people may have followed this news, it doesn't mean Israel is not impacted. Israel is impacted. Friday night, you can see here what has happened. No immediate casualties. Citizens were ordered into bomb shelters. We are talking about what is happening in Israel. Not only this, what else has happened in Israel? See here, in Tel Aviv region, people were rescued from a burning high-rise building, responding to multiple destruction sites. But if you have to do a compare and contrast, Iran has been impacted much more than Israel up until now. Do remember, from India's perspective, this is important from GS2 perspective, international relation perspective. So this is the most important point here. What is India's current stance on Israel-Iran conflict? So we are neither supporting Israel nor Iran, as Unknown and Priya are saying. We both are important to us, Iran also, Israel also. Who is more important according to you, Iran or Israel? So again, and there is also one implication for us. We have a very significant diaspora, not that significant in Israel and Iran, but we have a significant diaspora in West Asia. Plus our oil needs depends on the stability in this region. So for us, it's very important that peace prevails. Iran requested an emergency UN security meeting. US is like, they have started calling people back, not only from this region, but from Iraq and other, the nearby areas. Baghdad, some diplomats were pulled out. So they are in it's not like a offensive mode. It's all, US is all in a defensive mode, that we are like Israel, you do whatever you want to do. You have our internal support, but we are, we are just calling our troops and all these things. So this is MCQ2. We will see one editorial also based on this. You will understand some more stuff. Oh my God. Israel important for defense deal, USA ally. Exactly. So Shivam has given the answer. Shashmita, Iran strategic Israel defense. Awesome. So Shashivam and Priya, they have given the answer. Shahida has given the answer. Recent Israeli strike targeted which major Iranian nuclear facility known for uranium enrichment? The answer is Natanz. They targeted Natanz. So cool here. Shivam, Priya, Shahida, Rishi, Sneha and Shashmita. Now MCQ 3. Iran was recently censored by which of the following organization for non-compliance with its nuclear commitment? UNSC, NSG, IAEA or CTBTO, Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty Organization. CTBTO is also known as. Shashmita has given the answer. This is yesterday's news. You people can go and, like, today is what day, bro? Sometimes 14th June. So yesterday's, that is 13th June. We have to, and this is the major reason why all these things are happening. IAEA has said that, and for the first time in 20 years, they said that Iran has violated the nuclear energy purpose. They are not only using it for civilian purpose, they are enriching it beyond that. And the meaning is they are capable of making nuclear missiles now, nuclear bombs now, and that's why Israel attacked Iran. That is the basic official point of view which has been put forward. God knows what is going inside all these things. But yes, we have to write this particular point. So this has escalated this whole thing to a newer level. So the answer is CIAEA. You can go back and watch yesterday's, analysis of ours. Now, this is the page 10 editorial on the same issue. Do remember, club these articles. Let's say there is an article on page 1 related to the same stuff, page 10 editorial. Read them at the same time. This will help you in developing more holistic view. So, this author is saying that now Israel is slowly and gradually moving into the category of rogue nation. Rogue nation, we generally use it for countries like North Korea, Pakistan. Now, many people believe that Israel is also going into the rogue nation territory. What is happening in Gaza? According to many people, this is not fair. Yes, Hamas did a very, very heinous thing. So they should have targeted Hamas. Now they are continuously, they have gone beyond a certain extent. So there are so many things which are going on. And even if you forget about Gaza, things they are doing in Lebanon and Syria, that is also not good. They are occupying territories of Syria right now. You may feel like, okay, got it, sir. 3C. Very good, yeah. You may feel like that, they are surrounded by so many hostile nations, sir. That's why they have to acquire territories. You can justify it any way you want to. But according to this author, Israel is carrying out attacks. US and Iran were engaged in diplomatic talks yesterday. We talked about it. That's on Sunday. Today, Saturday. Tomorrow, they were supposed to meet in Oman. But in between, Israel has done all these things. And again, the strikes are described as illegal, restless and dangerous, escalating tension in the region, US inaction. And this is what the author is saying, that maybe Israel has gone to or reached to a certain point where they are not even listening to what US has to say. US failed to prevent Israel action, suggesting either a lack of seriousness or limited influence over Israel. Or Israel maybe has become too complacent that they can get away with anything right now. Civilians are at unease, that's not good. Exactly. Targets hit by Israel, again, we have talked about this, so we'll not talk about the same thing. Iran retaliated, circular violence is going on. Quid pro quo, you will attack us, we will attack you, and this thing will go on and on. And as Sashmita was saying, the people who will be the biggest sufferer will be the civilians. Concerned about this is what we were discussing. Iran has enriched uranium up to 60%. And I think yesterday, I made a video also, Operation this whole lion thing. So, so there we talked about how Israel was saying that Iran can make 15, 20 nuclear bombs or so many bombs within 15 days. They have a capability of making nuclear bombs, multiple nuclear bombs within 10 to 15 days because they have enriched uranium up until 60%, which is way beyond the civilian use purpose. And again, that's although there is no proof if it is building a bomb. Now, this whole no proof thing now will remind you of Saddam Hussein. Hope you remember the Saddam Hussein. So, sir, US is helping whom? Iran or Israel? You tell Saida, US has always been a all-weather friend of, Israel. Here they are just like, you are two body, one soul. That is the relationship of US and Israel. US and Iran, they have always been biggest foes, biggest enemies. And we can talk about their history, what happened in 60s, 70s, but they are the biggest enemies, US and Iran. So yes, US is supporting Israel. History of nuclear deal: in Iran had agreed to curb its nuclear programs earlier. Earlier there were sanctions on Iran that you should not be using it for military purposes, and they were like fine. Then Trump was like, we are withdrawing from this particular deal, and then Iran got away. Like they were like, we can use it for any purpose we want to, because US is actually not caring. And again, you can see here, knowing that it would face no real consequences. That's what we are saying. Even though US and Iran, they were supposed to have talks on Sunday, Israel, no, they can get away with anything right now, because sometimes it's like a family now, Israel and US. Maybe US is not talking to Israel right now, maybe they are sad about something, but it's a relationship which is very, very dense. It's not going anywhere, and they can get away with anything, be it this particular attack as well. So Israel's recent behavior, Israel has been accused of genius, and that's why the author is saying that Israel is a rogue nation. So people, Rishi, Priya, Saida, Sashmita, Mamta and others, do you believe that Israel is turning into a rogue nation? Or do you think it is important for their national interest? See what they have done. They have continued attack on Lebanon, the small country here. Where is this? The small country here. And territorial expansion in Syria. So they have attacked Lebanon. They are means capturing territories in Syria. So you cannot say, in Hindi there is a term doodh ka dhula. That means Israel is not, sacrosanct. They are doing stuff. And again, wider regional impact: Israel's strike plunged the region into deeper conflict, potential spillover into the Gulf region. Now what will happen? Ally formation will happen. Countries who support Iran, and Iran, if you know, they are very good at proxy warfare. They have allies in Yemen and different regions. So God knows what will happen now. Actually, you said that US and Iran is going to have it. So I said, if US is going to support Iran, US and Iran, they're having talk on like generally two enemies also talk, so that the the point of difference and different bone of contention, they get minimized to a certain extent, but they are enemies nevertheless. So impact on global economy in India: wider conflict could be catastrophic for India. So many, like West Asian diaspora, they give us economic stability. So if something happens in West Asia, it will impact us a lot. We depend on the region for energy as well. Call for international action. So again, the author is saying Israel is slowly and gradually turning into a rogue nation. Let's do something about it. Let's restrain Israel, because they have exceeded the extent. Shaida, India is not supporting anyone. Yes. So India believes on self-interest. Now again, in diplomacy, in international relation, there are no enemies, there are no friends. Like all these things are defined by your self-interest. What suits you, what does not suit you. MCQ 4, have a look at this. In response to the escalating Israel-Iran conflict, India conveyed which of the following position? So India is not supporting Israel. We have talked about this. You see, the best possible option here is message of peace and de-escalation. That is the stand of India right now. Cool, sir. Okay. So now page number 4. Rabindranath Tagore sir is in news. Why he is in news? Because he has his ancestral house, which is there in Bangladesh, Sirajganj district. It has been vandalized. Yesterday we have talked about Bangladesh, how Bangladesh is converting into a authoritarian state. You can see one more example of it. They have vandalized Tagore's ancestral house in Bangladesh. Tagore has written national anthem of not only India but even Bangladesh. What is the national anthem of Bangladesh? And many people believe that even Sri Lanka's national anthem, the person who has written, he was very influenced by Tagore, and Tagore helped him a lot in writing the national anthem of Sri Lanka as well. But he is not credited as the the author of or the writer of national anthem of Sri Lanka, India and Bangladesh. So this is what is going on. Mamta Banerjee is, has written stuff on June 12. He wrote to Prime Minister Narendra Modi sir that this is so wrong, because when you talk about Rabindranath Tagore sir, so many mains question comes when people compare him with Gandhiji, nationalism. He was a proponent of internationalism. So Mamta Banerjee is saying that he did not only belong to India, he belonged to world as a whole. He's such a big figure. He was the first Asian to win Nobel Prize in literature. For which particular book? Gitanjali. I asked you one more question. What was the other question I asked you? And if you know, like, do tell me. Sometimes I forget what I asked. So Rabindranath Tagore, very important. He was Sir Rabindranath Tagore. He renounced his knighthood after Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So all these things become important from exam perspective. Incident: ancestral house of Rabindranath Tagore in Sirajganj, Bangladesh, known as Kachari Bari. They can even ask you this Kachari Bari. Hope my Bengali friend will not kill me if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. Kachari Bari was reportedly vandalized. Political reaction. So even TMC, BJP, everyone is very sad about it, and political controversy has erupted that this is so wrong. Then there are many people who say that we should capture Bangladesh now. Enough is enough. Because of Bangladesh, there's so many issues, or there are so many issues. We cannot travel properly to Northeast India. Northeast India has become 20, 30 years, or they are 20, 30 years behind mainland India. So what do you think? Should we capture Bangladesh? Oh my God. So Mamata Banerjee's response, she has written to Narendra Modi, sir, she urged the PM to raise issues strongly with the Bangladesh government. And see, again, she emphasized that damage was not just to a building, to a towering fountain of creativity of the subcontinent. In a way, you can understand, she is saying that this issue should be raised with Bangladesh government. Why they have done that? Have they gone out of their mind totally? Call for strong international protest to deter future attack on cultural monuments. That is the basic rationale here. So do remember the key word here, the place, the home, like the ancestral house. What is the name? Kachari Bari. And then the important points related to Rabindranath Tagore, sir, first Asian to win Nobel Prize in Literature for the book Gitanjali. He believed in the proponent, or he was a proponent of internationalism. Whole world is one family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And yeah, renounced his knighthood after Jallianwala Bagh massacre. And then, he, like, okay, first of all, let's solve this question. Whenever you're writing, do write question number 5A, something like that, so that I don't get confused. So Priya has given the answer 5B, Rabindranath Tagore. Even in UPSC, when you see these kind of questions, also research other options like Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. His name was not Vidyasagar. It's not like he was born and his parents were like, we will name him Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Vidyasagar was a title given to him because he established so many girls' college. There was a guy, J.D. Bethune. He established Bethune School, then Bethune College. He was Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar sir was a secretary or something. UPSC PYQ has been asked on it. Subhash Chandra Bose. There's so many things, people talk about him. So again, we'll talk about him later on. Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, Anand Mutt, Sannyasi Rebellion. So research on other options as well. Page number 10, editorial. The rot starts at the top of the aviation ladder. So this is about Ahmedabad. Unfortunate, crash. And see, understand one thing, in GS3 infrastructure, you have this aviation thing. You have roadways, railways, and then you have airways. So here in the aviation, they can ask you, what is the root cause? This sir here, Captain A. Ranganathan, who is a former airline instructor pilot. This is such a good editorial, man. So good. They have talked about the real issues which are there in the aviation ladder. Like, I will tell you one major point which he has raised in this editorial. He said that the normal protocol is, when these kind of incident happen worldwide, we never reveal the name of the pilots. Not only our Indian media revealed the name of the pilots, they showed their pictures. General tendency, according to Captain A. Ranganathan, is this is not a single incident. Although the number of people who succumbed in this unfortunate event is large, but this is not a single event. There have been many events every decade. And generally what happens? Although people will not accept it, generally pilots misadventures, or pilot was responsible, pilot names have been disclosed, this should not be done. Then he raised another very important point, that this airplane, they crashed into a high rising building, and it crashed immediately, right? So he was like, how come permission was given for such a high rise building so close to airport? That is not possible. That is only possible due to political pressure. This medical college, which is established so close to airport, he is saying that as per national and international laws related to aviation, this should not have been done. This is, pure political pressure. Time and again, what happens? He says that people forget about all these things. Same political leaders who are there from last 20, 30 years in this aviation sector, they continue. Just like Rajiv Sukla sir, he is there in cricket. anyone comes, anyone goes, Rajiv Shukla sir always remains there in cricket. So hope you can understand. Let's talk about this issue. This will help you in writing a proper answer on mains question related to aviation. Murphy's law, he says, Murphy's law is, if several things can go wrong, the one causing the most damage will go wrong. Again, just the basic thing, he's saying that the Air India crash is a tragic and predictable outcome. He's saying this is not the only outcome. Again, the event will happen until or unless we change certain stuff. What stuff we need to change? He's saying it. Aviation authorities, they have consistently ignored the need for stringent training, and we'll talk about all these things. We'll talk about the most important points. Political manipulation. First of all, how come such a high-rise building was built so close to airport? Mahatma Gandhi gave Rabindranath Tagore the title of Gurudev, and Rabindranath Tagore gave Mahatma Gandhi the title of Mahatma. So, Mahatma Gandhi is also known as Bapu. Quid pro quo. Very good, Rishi. So, after every crash, only pilots are blamed while the rest of the system evades responsibility. Have you people, most of you I think have you seen the images of the pilots who were involved in this accident? I have. Ideally, I should not have. Ideally, every effort should have been made to protect the, because we can understand, we have talked about overloading, bird and everything yesterday, the causes, all these things. But the people who have lost, the family who have lost their members, they will feel like the pilots are to be blamed. Plus, the media is on another level. So, the general protocol is you should not be disclosing the identity of the pilots. Anyway, they have also succumbed to this thing. But I think most of you know and this is so sad. So, history of complacency, as the author is saying, this is not a single event and this will happen again. 1990, IC 605, Bangalore, CD 7412, Patna, 2000, IX 812, 2010, Mangaluru, IX 1344, 2020, Kozhikode, and again in 2025. So authorities have shown no accountability. The same officials remain in power despite repeated failures. As you can see here, the author of this editorial is actually very, very frustrated. We blame the pilot, we forget everything. Political and institutional failure. Civil aviation ministers routinely defend safety standard despite International Civil Aviation Organization. They have set some protocols. This is a UN organization. Internationally, what should be civil aviation protocol? We violated. Accident investigators, they follow official narratives, mainly blaming pilots. So pilots will be blamed here also. DGSA violated, again you can read this thing, and this is the point we were talking. We should never publicly name the pilots after the crash. This is not the norm. It has been violated again this time as well. Calls for professional leadership, and this whole thing, bureaucrats should not be there. There has to be professional leadership here. Same people should not continue. Somebody has to take accountability for what happened. Life is very cheap in our country. We have to, or you people have to, make it precious as a civil servant. Media is just about breaking news. Weak judicial oversight. Author is also talking about this. In fact, author has went as far as saying that in Pakistan they have better judicial oversight when it comes to aviation. They make, when these things happen, judiciary suo moto. Suo moto means on its own take cases, that who is responsible. Yes, the failure happened, but somebody has to take the accountability. So author is saying that our judicial oversight is weaker than even Pakistan. And even, has judiciary said something? Has this suo moto taken up this case? Why this whole thing happened? No. So they are saying that in the case of aviation, even our judiciary is very weak. And this is a sad reality. No empathy, pilot and the entire crew. Exactly. Early evidence from Ahmedabad crash, CCTV and social media footage, poor runway maintenance. Again, we have talked about this bird strike risk yesterday. Obstacle hazard, and this is one of the major points raised in this article. The aircraft crashed into a multi-storied building close to the flight path. Authorities must investigate if construction clearances were improperly issued due to political pressure. Just when these kind of incidents happen, we think about these things. Otherwise, nobody would have cared if the clearance was taken or not. So these are issues. Blaming pilots, if this clearance, if proper clearance would have been taken, maybe people would not have died in those hospitals also. Unfortunate people. Unfortunate medical students. Okay, so key investigation area, you can read these things we have discussed. The article questions whether India will learn from this tragedy or this will happen, or continued cycle of negligence. Cool, sir, hope you understand. He wants to increase only TRP, fake videos, exactly. Okay, page 6, center. Now, this was a mains article, so there is no pre-related question related to that. So, center cannot cite DM Act. Now, this is a very, very awesome article. Very awesome, like very important from exam perspective. Article 73 of Constitution related here. This article is different. Article 73. Awesome, awesome article. If you understood this article, you will feel so happy because this is actually a technical article. So what is happening? I think 1 or 2 days back, I made a video. We had this discussion in Hindu analysis only, where we were talking about how Kerala feels that center targets Kerala unfairly. So Kerala High Court, suo motu we were discussing on its own. So suo motu is what? When sometimes different courts, nobody has filed a case. They themselves took up this case. So Kerala High Court, when Wayanad landslide happened, so they took up the scenario. There was a section 13 in DM's Act, Disaster Management Act, section 13. So under section 13, what used to happen earlier was, let's say I faced this landslide. I am a victim of this Wayanad landslide, a disastrous occurrence. So in that scenario, my loans, etc. would be waived because I'm in a precarious situation now. I don't have enough. My house has, blown apart and I have nothing left. How will I be able to pay any loan, etc.? So my loan will be waived under section 13. Now center is saying that, and now Kerala High Court, they are saying that, Wayanad landslide happened, many people became homeless, this and that. So you fulfill your promise under section 13 of Disaster Management Act, and central government, you ensure that people who were impacted by Wayanad landslides, their loan is waived off of different kinds, whatever loans they have taken earlier. Center is saying that, Honorable Kerala High Court, we have already, deleted this particular section 13 of Disaster Management Act. So we are in no way liable, or we don't, we are not concerned with waiving of this loan, or we are not obliged, or we are not mandated. It's not compulsory for us to waive off the loan. Now Kerala High Court is saying that this is so wrong, sir. This is not correct, because let's say you waived this whole thing. You removed this whole section 13 in 2024. Wayanad landslide happened in 2023. So ideally you are liable. Or again, this is just a hypothetical date. I'm just telling you, they're also saying that you are not only bound by this section 13 of DM Act to waive off the loan of the people who were impacted by these kind of disasters, even under Article 73, which gives you executive power, which gives union executive power, under that also you have the power, you can waive off their debts or loans, whatever they have taken, because they comprise a part of a vulnerable section. So that is what this debate is all about. Very fascinating debate. And now Kerala High Court has given some time to center to think about their stand. What do they think about this whole issue? Atma Sangyan. Are you people understanding what this whole issue is all about? So Kerala's High Court observation, Kerala High Court stated that center cannot claim it lacks authority to issue loan waiver for disaster affected person by citing a repealed section. The section which we are talking about is section 13 of Disaster Management Act. Center's justification is, we have already repealed it. We are not bound by it. Section was removed early, we have removed it, but the section was removed earlier in 2024. And when this Wayanad landslide happened, it happened in 2023. So this is the justification of Kerala High Court that no, this happened earlier, so you are still liable. You cannot get away with the fact that you have removed this section. Past provision, when it existed, section 13, we have talked about this, we are just reading the points now. Section 13 allowed center to recommend relief measures related to loan repayments for those affected by disaster. Again, Shashmita, Sneha, Rishi, and other people, what is your view on this issue? Should center waive off the loans of the people impacted by Wayanad landslide, or you are like, no sir, Kerala already has so much high, HDI, Human Development Index, and this and that, so they can take care of themselves. So these remarks were made during a suo motu case. This case was taken by Kerala High Court on its own, that no, this is a very precarious case. So many people were impacted by Wayanad landslide, devastating landslides, and they need help under section 13 of Disaster Management Act. Sneha is saying yes, sir. Alternative constitutional basis. Court is also saying that even if you have removed section 13 of Disaster Management Act, you still have Article 73 of the Constitution, bro. And that defines your executive power. You can do anything and everything. This is just a small incident. So this is nothing for you people. Court strongly criticized the center stance, saying it should not hide behind repeal of section 13, and executive power did not originate solely from DM Act. You have executive power majorly from Article 73 of Indian Constitution. Remember, they can directly ask you one particular question as well. Waive off, sir. Sneha is also saying wave off. Sashmita is also saying wave off. They can even ask you Article 73 of Indian Constitution deals with what? So direction to center. Court gave the center 3 weeks to make a decision on the loan waiver for people affected by landslide. So let's see where this whole thing, yes sir, they should waive off the loan. So where this whole thing goes from here. But this is a very, very interesting read, and you should know about section 13, article 73, and that's how you remember articles. You cannot mark them all. When they are in use, read about them and you will remember it. See, solve this particular question. My voice is gone. Human lives must matter more than legal loopholes. Very good, Santosh yaar. Very well put. So the question is, consider the following statement regarding the Disaster Management Act. Section 13 of Disaster Management Act empowered the center to recommend relief related to loan repayment for disaster affected person. Section 13 is currently active and in use by the Government of India. So the answer is section 13, that is the basic provision, relief related to loan repayment. So first is correct. If first is correct, 2 only is gone, neither is gone. You are left with A and C. Section 13 is currently, it is not currently active. That's what we discussed, right? They are saying that, center is saying that we have already deleted it in 2024. Kerala High Court is saying that, bro, Wayanad landslide happened in 2023. So you are still able to pay, even though you have repealed it. You have repealed it after that particular landslide. Plus, there is Article 73 also. So you cannot get away with the fact that you have just deleted section 13, right? So that means second statement is wrong. If second is wrong, so the answer will be A, 1 only. Good question, tricky question. If you have solved it now, you can solve it in exam. So who's Priya has tried it, Sashmita has tried it, Sneha has tried it, Shaida has got it correct, and cool. No, both option is not correct, Rishi. Hope you understood why. Cool, 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 cool. Tricky question, tricky question, tricky question. MCQ 7. This folded hands is the emoji of Rishi. I love to give the salute emoji on WhatsApp. I love that particular image. So Article 73 of Indian Constitution relates to emergency power of the President, distribution of legislative power, extent of union executive power, and financial relations between center and states. So the answer is, we have just talked about it, Article 73, the whole justification. Only section 13 is not there of Disaster Management Act. Center has whole Article 73, which gives them executive power, so much of executive power. So the answer is extent of union executive power, as stated by Shashmita, unknown, Mohit, Shaida has also tried it, Vaishali and Rishi. Very good. So this one, extent of union executive power. MCQ 8. Now this is actually a very important issue. 3 MCQs we have done from this particular article. Which of the following best describes the term suo motu as used in judicial proceedings? A case initiated on the request of the state government. B, a case filed by a private citizen. C, a case taken up by the court on its own initiative. D, a case transferred from the lower court to a higher court. As Shaida and unknown and Shashmita, they have given the answer 8. Means C, a case taken by court on its own initiative. This whole thing which is going on in Kerala High Court related to Wayanad landslide is a suo motu case. So the answer is C. Very good. Cool, sir. Now, at the starting, we were talking about Assam, that Assam is in news. Page 1, Assam CM gives shoot at sight order. Oh my god, this is not a joke, bro. Shoot at sight order in Dhubri town. Now, for understanding why this whole thing has happened, we have to first of all look at the map. If you see the map here, this region is Bangladesh. This is Bangladesh. So this is your Assam region. This is Dhubri. This is the Dhubri region. And Dhubri is very close to Bangladesh. And we have talked about the partition part. and how partition was done very haphazardly, Radcliffe Committee, etc., etc. Now, this Dhubri district is majority, like more than 70% population is Muslim in this area, Dhubri, and they are like, many people believe that there is a considerable, illegal Bangladeshis who are there and who are trying to incite tensions. So something has happened. We'll talk about this whole issue. So for that, we need to know the exact location of Dhubri. Court's its own initiative, right? So blames Bangladeshi group for unrest. Now, what has happened here? Shoot at sight order. Why it was issued? Because, communal tension. And why we are reading it? Because if you see your GS mains paper 1, you have communalism in your syllabus, explicitly mentioned. Now, communalism, you can see here what has happened. I cannot even write, like there is so many things which are written in this article. I cannot write it because, maybe after watching this, some communal things will happen somewhere else. So I have to trim this particular article to skip the provisions, which I don't want to say, but certain stuff happened a day after Bakrid in this Dhubri region, and then repeated provocation was done by one particular community against another, leading to communal tension. And the communal tension has escalated to such an extent that Hemanta Biswa Sarma sir has issued a suit at sight order in Dhubri town. Communalism, GS mains paper 1, 3 basic attributes of communalism. I think we have talked about it. If we have not, let me tell you. First, people of same religion, they believe they have similar interest. Second point, people of different religion, they have different interests. People who are communal by nature, they have, like I'm just telling you, they believe that people of same religion have same interests, similar interests. People of different religion have divergent interests. And the third, the most problematic aspect of communalism is people of different religion cannot coexist because of such extreme divergent interest. Cannot coexist means now only one will prevail. How one will prevail? By, you can understand by what. So these kind of things are going on in Dhubri, and that's what led to this shoot at sight order. We have just seen the location of Dhubri, how close it is to Bangladesh. And because of all these things, that's why the talks are going on. Should be? Yes, sir, it can be, because I live at the border of India and Nepal. And there are many people, they're having 2 country citizenship illegally. Exactly. So allegations against Bangladesh, we can see how close it is to Bangladesh. Hemanta Biswa Sarma sir is saying that there is an organized attempt to incite communal violence. Demography matters of Dhubri. Muslims, mainly Bengali speaking, make up 74%. How much of these, like Muslim, Hindu doesn't matter, but how much of these population are actually Indian, that actually matters. Many people believe, a big chunk of this portion is, Bangladeshi. And that's why there are calls, Nabeen Bangla, calling for Dhubri to be made a part of Bangladesh. These kind of things are going on. So you should know about where is Dhubri, what is going on in Dhubri. They can ask you, Dhubri, a place in news, is a part of which particular state? So we have to remember, Jogbani in Bihar. Cool. Nice. Jogbani, I've heard, yeah. Jogbani is a good place. So hope you understood this issue. Hope you understood the basic meaning of communalism, 3 attributes. Accusation, Chief Minister, again you can read this. Crackdown on criminals, Sarma directed authorities to immediately arrest. Deployment of central forces, all these people are there. So this whole thing is important from GS1 perspective also, GS3 internal security perspective as well. Cool, sir. So I think today we are done early. Cool. So I will share this particular PDF. Done early what? If you have any queries, ask it. Sometimes if you are done early, that means you have full time to ask me anything you want to. So ask me anything you want to. I'll share this particular PDF with the answers in this Telegram channel, Fun Study with Shubh. You can join it and what? Also, yes, please post your score, Saran ma'am. I'm just attending your class for the very first time. It's really impressive. This is how a teacher should be. Oh my God, Milan. I cannot say that. Thank you. So, good initiative, sir. I agree. So where were we? So do post your score. We have done 8 MCQs. I can increase it to 10. Again, if you people want me to increase MCQs and PYQs included, today I don't think we have done any PYQs, but generally we do PYQs and MCQs combined. So should I increase it to 10? What is your view on that? If you feel like, yes sir, increase PYQ plus MCQs to 10, I will do that. Assam also made gun licensing easier for who eligible. Good or bad thing it is. Do post your score in the comment section, sir and ma'am. And again, if you're a serious UPSC 2026 aspirant and you feel, and this is actually a serious issue, if you feel like, you're lagging behind in certain areas, you're weak in certain stuff, or you want to, study in a more structured way, we are there for you. This Hindu analysis will always be there. But apart from that, let's say there are specific subjects where you are facing issues, you can join our Pratigya evening batch. Admissions are closing on 15th June. Today is 15th or today is 14th. That means admissions are closing tomorrow. And you can use my code SHS Live to get maximum discount. People who have followed me earlier, they know the procedure, how you have to join this particular P2I batch. And this is prelims to interview. One of the best feature according to me of this batch is, if you clear UPSC pre 2026 next year, you will get full refund. Not half, not 10%, not 20%, you will get full refund. And this is actually a very, very good feature. And every month we have a quiz. If you top that quiz, you will get 11,000 reward. And again, one good thing which I want to tell you people right now is, like, prelims has happened, result has been declared. We made videos also. So there are people who have messaged me that they want to become a part of our mains residential program, which is also included in this. So in mains residential program, what happens? You live with those people who have cleared pre. So it's all you people, the serious people, not anyone and everyone are there. And you become the average of 5 people you surround yourself with, right? So there are so many good features which are there in this batch. If you feel like you need help from us, you are lagging behind in certain areas, you can join this batch. And let me tell you the process again. If you don't know it, you will know it. You have to just go to StudyIQ.com. StudyIQ.com. You go here, you go downwards, you go to UPSC, you go to all languages, you go to English. This is the batch I'm talking about. You go to buy now. You go to again buy now. You go here, 3 offers available. You go to add promo code. You go here, you write enter promo code, enter coupon code. Here you can write SHS Live, that is there. My code, which is there in the bottom also. See the prices right now, 35, 999, 35, 30, 20. If I apply it, what happens? So this gets reduced. The diamond, the best value thing, it is getting reduced by 7,000. 7,000 is actually a big number. You can use my code, you can get 7,000 discount, and you will not regret it. You will thank me later for it. Cool, sir. Any queries, sir? Anything you want to ask? This is the time to ask your queries. Sir, PY, yes, I will. We do it every day. So today the questions were such, like, there were some unique articles, so that's why there were MCQs. PYQs plus MCQs, that's the way to go. Good morning, all my family from Gujarat and village. God bless you with lots of happiness in life. God bless you too, Mithun. I always see you writing this particular thing, and I love you for it. This is such a affirmative thing. Also Saran ma'am, but Mithun, Shashmita, Priya, Sneha, and other people, I keep on telling people, please do 5 things every day. 5 affirmations. Wake up in the morning and say these 5 things to yourself every day. I'm the best. I can do it. God is always with me. Today is my day. I'm a winner. The more you say it, you attract these things. If you think negatively, you will attract negative things. If you think positively, you will attract positive things. So say these 5 affirmations every day, and this will help you in the longer run. Tikashe, any more queries, or shall I be gone then? Chepandis means tell me. Tikashe, then I am going, and I'll be seeing you people on Monday, right? Today is Saturday. So we will take a break of tomorrow, Sunday, and we'll meet on Monday at 10 a.m. So take care, everyone. And thank you. But you are a student of, I think, Patel. You are a student of Tathastu. You people are okay. You people have your talk. Sir, how to stay focused in the preparation? That is the big challenge, Soumya. 888 is the philosophy. 8 hours of study, 8 hours of rest, and 8 hours of doing other stuff. So, you have to balance it out. And you can join our batch, or you can make a schedule and you can stick to it. Let's say you are attending my Hindu at 10 a.m., you do it, and then you have a proper schedule, you complete your optional. So you have to have a proper structure ready. And some days will be tough, but it happens with anyone and everyone. You can take a break every 7 days. You can take half a day break based on whether you are feeling burnt out or not. But try to follow this 888. Let's say you have done this 1 hour Hindu analysis, then you have to study for 7 more hours. How you have to do that? That will be decided by you. Whether you are a morning person or evening person, that will determine your schedule. Thank you, Rishi. Okay. Yeah, I am interesting, Shashmita. So okay, this is done. Okay, cool. So please, people, collect your doubts. We can always discuss it in the next session. At the end, we'll take all these doubts. That is actually the basic purpose of the lecture, along with the lecture itself, right? Theek ashe. So I will see you people on Monday at 10 a.m. Bye-bye. Take care. Be blessed.